Disclaimer: all of the terms used here are all fan-translated terms, and may differ from the official localization of the game. Some of the content in this video will not be in the game on day 1. This video is meant to be an introduction to the game. I will go through the game's mechanics, although not too in detail because I don't really do technical stuff all that much.
悲鳴が聞こえる、おやつが聞こえる、嘲笑が聞こえる、暴行が聞こえる。それは最悪の物語。シノアリス。
Introduction. SINoALICE is a collaborative mobile game between Square Enix and Pokerabo. Yoko Taro directs the game and handles the story along with 2 other writers, Akabe Yoshiho and Matsuo Ryoki. The plot revolves around fairy tale characters wandering in a world known as the library. Their mission is to revive their author, and to do so, they must kill each other. Story. Designed as an open-ended story, it is also designed to end at any given point due to Yoko's low expectations. When they realize how well the game is doing, Yoko and the other 2 writers panicked at how they're gonna keep up the pace. The game depicts specific incarnations of the fairy tale characters. Some of them mention their author's name throughout the story, so you'll know which version the game is going with. Rank leveling. Rank leveling is important as it increases the cap of your HP, weapon cost, number of subgrid slots, and AP cap. You can raise your AP by cleaning, grinding stages, and in grinding stages you can use the following to get to the following ranks. My recommendation is that you clean a lot when you're grinding for an event. Cleaning. A mini-game when you are given 30 seconds to kill as many nightmares as possible in order to replenish your AP. Over time, the ulti gauge will fill up. Once it's filled, tap your character to unleash an attack that will kill everything in one shot. If you rack up a combo by killing a single colored nightmare in a row, the ulti gauge will fill up much quicker. Free cleaning resets after 8 hours. You can use a cleaning ticket to clean whenever you want, when the timer is in effect. There is a paid subscription-like service known as the Royal User Service. You can pay 600 yen to get 1 Royal Medal, 6-hour free cleaning cooldown, and much more. Jobs and weapon type. A job has a weapon affinity for 1 weapon. Breaker for sword, Crusher for hammer, Paladin for polearm, Gunner for projectile, Sorcerer for taupe, Minstrel for instrument, Cleric for staff, Mage for orb. Weapons are split into 2 main categories, DPS and support. The DPS weapons are split into 2 groups, physical and magical. Sword and hammer are classified into physical, while polearm and projectile are classified into magical. Support weapons are on the odd end, with tome being debuff, instrument for buff, staff for healing, and orb for magic attack. Sin Job and Sin Half Nightmare. These jobs have an elemental and weapon affinity at the cost of a lower affinity for another element. Half Nightmare. Jobs that have an increased weapon affinity at the cost of a lower affinity for other weapons. Using a grid consisting of the main weapon proficiency is ideal. Grid. A grid has weapon, armor, and nightmare slots. You are able to set up to 15 sets. Out of these 15 sets, you can set up a main set and 3 subsets. The main and subset mechanic is meant for Colosseum and will be explained further later. Main set. Anything in this grid is yours to use in battle, as well as its full stats accumulated to your total power. For the armor part of the main grid, you want to set a full armor set for the effect to take place. As of the 2nd anniversary of the game in the Japanese version, limit break skills have been added. Here you can only select 4 weapon limit break skills. Subset. A subset is a set where you stuff in extra weapons and all for extra stats. You cannot use the stuff in this grid. Instead, you get a 10% of the stats to add up to your total power. Character strengthening. A way to further enhance a specific character, which also boosts the overall power, granted if you have that specific character equipped. You will need special mats, life light to initiate your upgrades, and book of Purification to unlock certain parts of the tree. Upgrades are structured like a skill tree and are split into 4 categories: balanced, physical, magical, and super strengthened. Job leveling. Jobs are leveled up by using proficiency points, but the term job EXP is widely used in the English community. These points are gained from the amount of SP you consume in Story Mode and Colosseum. There's also items that dispenses proficiency points. You can redeem these at certain metal shops and are often given out during events. A job can be limit break 5 times. You will need each and every level of Arcana as you progress. You can't limit break a job with a level 2 Arcana unless you've already used a level 1 Arcana on it. Arcanas are usually redeemed with desire medals of the same month the job is released. There are free jobs given out periodically from events, and their Arcanas tend to be event redeemables as well. A job's stats consist of character effect stats, physical stats, magical stats, HP, costs, buff and debuff. In story mode, certain stages or events will be designated as a character area, meaning the assigned character gets a bit of a damage boost. All the character effects from all the jobs of the same character gets that stat shared across said character only. Physical attack, physical defense. These are universal stats, meaning this will be shared across every character and every job. It basically adds up to your base stats. Magical attack, magical defense, also universal stat. Adds additional weapon cost to your grid, also universal stat. These stats are exclusive to Half Nightmare, Sin, and Sin Half Nightmare jobs only, as these jobs have a boost for either an element or weapon. In turn for that, other elements or weapon types will be severely debuffed. Weapon. Every weapon has a story, Colo, and Colo 8 skill. These skills are what makes a weapon good, and a quality that you should aim for when you're rolling. The higher the number at the end of a skill name, the stronger it is. In order to level up a skill level, you can either feed a weapon to it or a skill gem. Weapons can level up 3 skills simultaneously, while skill gems will only level up a specific skill type. Here are the weapon skills you'd want to be aiming for. Armor. As the name implies, it gives you additional defense stats, both in physical defense and magical defense, along with a slight weapon type buff that only activates in story mode, otherwise known as Monogatari mode. The weapon type is written on the icon of the armor. There's also an armor set bonus that will activate when you equip a full set in your main grid. This is best used for raids when you're up against a formidable boss nightmare. The set effects are usually a slight increase in defense against a specific type of nightmare. Armor event. Here you get to farm for armors. Each event brings a new armor set into the game with its own effect that is most useful in raids. There's also a weapon specific armor. In the beginning of the game, you're not able to limit break and armor, but this function is later implemented in the second anniversary of the Japanese version of the game. Armors have a skill level, which is leveled up by feeding armors into it. Using dupes as fodder would be ideal. Guild Cooperation, also known as Medal Event. Here you rack up medals to achieve milestones and use it to redeem stuff at its own medal shop. There are solo and guild milestones. Solo milestones are basically an achievement ladder for how many total medals you've racked up. Guild milestones work the same, except it's the total amount of medals the entire guild has racked up. The rewards you can obtain from the shop and the milestone are skill stones, gems, and etc. Sometimes, some events will throw in special goodies, like arcanas and whatnot. Medal events have event weapons, otherwise known as multipliers or modifiers in the English community. These multipliers will literally multiply the rate of medals dropped per run. You can also stack drop potions to fatten up your loot more. Raids. An event where you're pit against a boss nightmare with its own set of gimmicks. Once you've completed the appropriate stages, you'll earn one free copy of the featured boss nightmare. These nightmares require a specific material called cores in order to evolve. The stages will drop cores and the nightmare, albeit at an abysmal rate. Right nightmares have their own types, like dragon, humanoid, and so on. Husk Weapon. A series of special weapons that can only be redeemed from a select few raids. They will be given for free if you're able to clear their respective stages. These weapons will begin at a stat of 1 for all parameters and an abysmal cost of 99. If you evolve these weapons with specific cores you obtain from raids, you'll obtain a strong weapon with a pretty meta skill. This is especially good for free-to-play players. You can further strengthen these weapons in two ways. Note that you'll need an already evolved Husk Weapon to be able to do this. Cores will be consumed in the process. Parameter Customization. By consuming cores, you'll be able to increase the stats of the weapon. You're able to increase each stat up to a maximum of 250 each. You can use any type of core for this function. One core equals to 5 stats. Skill Customization. By consuming cores, you're able to change the skill of the desired Husk Weapon. But the skills are selected by random from a pool, meaning you're basically rolling for a skill. Oh great, another gacha. Note that all 3 skills will be selected at random, simultaneously. But by using a customized ticket of 30 gems, you'll be able to keep one of these skills while you roll for the other 2. Giant Raid Event. As of this video, this event type has not been formally released yet. The first and recent release is the beta testing. The mechanics and rules are subject to change in the final version. The beta mechanics has you 5 players pit against a boss nightmare, well, a Sin nightmare to be precise. The boss nightmare has its own gimmicks. You're able to do a run on differing difficulties. The higher the difficulty, the more rewards you'll garner. Here you must earn medals and redeem a half nightmare job and other goodies. On the lore aspect of this event, the event sheds more light on what spirits truly are, elaborating on how they came to meet the characters and possess them. Guild. A guild holds up to a maximum of 15 players. The founder will be the guild master, and 2 members can be designated as the sub-master. The GM has the privilege to hand down their GM position to any other member. Sub-masters can filter and sort guild applications, as well as participate for Gran Colosseum. Guild rank. Guilds are ranked as D, C, B, A, and S. The higher your rank, the better the loot gets. If you win 5 matches, you go up a rank and vice versa. Overall Guild Rank. This ranking is for the general server-wide leaderboard and also determines how strong or weak of a guild you'll be matching up against. This ranking is determined from your victory history. If you win against a higher ranking guild, you'll go up the ladder, and vice versa. But be warned, the matchmaking system has the tendency to match up pretty unfair for either side. Guild level. Guild levels are determined based on the inochi a guild has accumulated. The guild level determines how much HP the guild ship has. Colosseum. Colosseum is a guild versus guild battle. One session is 20 minutes long. The guild with the most inochi, or life, at the end of the session will win. 5 players will occupy the vanguard, and the rest of the 10 will occupy the back row. The vanguard is for DPS, and the back row for support. Anyone inflicting damage from the back row will be severely nerfed. Players in the back row cannot be targeted or attacked. You are given 400 SP, and you must clean to replenish it. Once the vanguard has completely died all at once, the game will enter ship destruction phase. Here, you must destroy the opponent's ship to earn a massive amount of inochi. Once the opponent's ship has been destroyed, you will revert back to killing each other. During the ship destruction phase, the guild that was killed will enter resurrection phase, where you can resurrect your fallen vanguard comrades and watch as your ship gets bullied. A mechanic to help turn the tides is called Shinma. When a Shinma counter activates, both guilds must use a set number of the displayed weapon type to summon said Shinma. Should one guild achieve that number first, it will lay down damage on the opposing guild and grant you with a boost on the specified weapons. Prior to Colosseum, you can check what Shinma will be appearing in that match of the day, allowing you to prepare which grid to take into Colosseum. And so this is where the main and the subsets come into play. Your main set will be the one displayed on the guild's member listing. Your subsets will be hidden from the public eye. Here you can just play a little tactic to fool the opposing guild into thinking you have a less than average setup. Once Colo starts, you can just switch into your subset. Haha! Gran Colosseum. A monthly Colosseum event that's split into 3 divisions. Division 1, 2, and 3. What sets Gran Colo apart from the vanilla Colosseum is that you get gems and a special currency known as Grand Medals. The higher you rank in the leaderboard at the end of Gran Colo, the more gems and rewards you get. The Grand Medal shop features half nightmare jobs and their arcanas, as well as the infinite evolution weapons. The infinite evolution weapons are supposed to have infinite amounts of evolution. The weapon skill changes into a stronger one, while the base stats increase with each evolution. At the moment, there's only a fixed amount of evolutions. Gran Colo is split into preliminaries and finals. In prelims, guilds that are close in ranking in their respective time slots will be pit against each other. The amount of inochi you gain at the end will determine what place you rank in the leaderboard of your own time slot. If you rank high enough, you'll be able to enter the finals. In addition to inochi, the number of times you destroy the opponent's ship and number of combo will also accumulate into your points. Over the course of Gran Colo, players are given 4 betting tickets daily as login bonus. With each ticket, players are able to bet which group they think will win. Betting on the winning team or prediction will earn you betting medals. This medal shop will refill monthly. The price here is 300 gems and 10 grand medals. Colosseum Sin. A top number of ranking guilds per time slot, up to a total of 32 guilds, will be pit against each other to find out who's the strongest guild. This is literally a whales-only territory. The reward structure here basically works the same as Gran Colosseum, although with a few small changes, such as a material to limit break any weapon without needing a dupe of said weapon, as well as exclusive chat stamps. Gacha, aka summons for some of you global server players. As of the 2nd anniversary in the Japanese version of the game, all banners will dispense 11 rolls at the same rate of 300 gems. We have several different types of gacha in this game. Let me just get this out of the way. Just because a weapon comes with a job doesn't necessarily mean it's good. A very good chunk of character gacha weapons are pretty shit. Step up gacha. These banners can consist of a set number of steps. Each step will differ in the number of rolls and differing rates. On the very last step is usually a high SS rate. At times it can be an SS guaranteed. Step-ups are generally better than the normal banners, as the probability of getting an SS is much higher. But do be warned that even if it's a higher rate doesn't mean it's a guaranteed unless it's written as such. Recycle gacha. This is more for the higher level players who have rolled a lot of SS weapons that they don't need to use, or rolled ones with really trash skills. You select the undesired SS weapon and spend 300 gems to roll the banner. You'll get an SS guaranteed from its featured pool. There's also several variations of this recycle banner, but I won't get too much into that. Spec gacha. This banner is for the Colosseum competitive players, and is split into Vanguard and back row banners. The weapons here are usually top tier and very meta skills. If you don't give a damn for an animated JPEG, this is the banner to roll. But be warned, for the rates are just the normal banner, non-existent, and non-sparkable, which is really important. Expedition. A mechanic to level up your nightmares while getting rewards on the way. Here you compile a party of nightmares to send off to bring you back rewards. There are currently 4 stages, 1 for each arc. So far, this is the only place to get nightmare evolution materials. The longer the duration of the stage, the more EXP it would yield for your nightmares. Paid. As with things being paid, the stuff it offers tend to be good and meta. Paid job. This pack comes with a job, its SS weapon, and 300 gems to match with the 3000 yen price tag. However, at launch for the Japanese version, these job packs came without their weapons. It was only till a year later that they started to include their weapons. For people who bought these packs before the weapons existed, they receive a free copy when the rerun comes around. You're able to buy it 5 times to be able to max limit break the weapon. Paid Nightmare. This pack comes with an SS Nightmare and 500 gems to match with the 5000 yen price tag. You're able to buy it 5 times for max limit break. Most of the paid nightmares have considerably high stats and meta skills. If you're serious about Colosseum, this will be worth your kidney. Paid Arcana Medal. This pack comes with 1 Arcana Medal and 500 gems to match with the 5000 yen price tag. The Arcana Medal shop is technically a backlog of the pre-existing Arcanas, but sometimes the game does throw in new and exclusive Arcanas that you can only find in that shop. Yay, more paywalls, as if I didn't need any more of that. Paid Weapon. This pack comes with an SS weapon and 300 gems to match with the 3,000 yen price tag. These weapons tend to be multipliers for an event. They tend to have pretty bad stats, so you're better off buying a job pack at this price, honestly. Thank you very much for watching my first ever video. I will admit, I was very, I am very stiff when I was recording this entire script. I kept stuttering so much and I feel like I sound so textbooky. So this is my first time recording and also making a video of this caliber, type, style. So please be gentle on me. So if you have any more questions, which I'm sure you do because this is just only an introductory video, I'm sure you want to get into the meat of the stuff, you can head on over to our Discord server. Come on in and say hi! We also have a Gacha channel if you're interested in flexing. A very, very, very big thanks to Kent for helping me putting this guide together. Well, maybe I'll make more SINoALICE videos, but really depends. Because once this video goes up, I technically have a month before my finals come. Ugh. So thank you for watching. A subscription will be most appreciated. ありがとうございました。